The anime begins with explosions and two boys named Yukito and Jingi running, and Jingi promises young Yukito that he will keep him safe. They both reach the boat, and a man asks them about Momoko. They tell him that she is leading the evacuation, and she tells them to get on the boat. The man tells them that Yanagi is going to get Haru and AK. Yukito and Jingi get on the boat. Grown-up Yukito has a dream in which he finds himself underwater and feels comfortable because he avoids getting close to people. The next day, a graduation ceremony is going on at Yukito's school where a teacher congratulates Yukito on his graduation. Yukito tells her that he is leaving the foster home and going back to his birthplace, and one of his father's friends will be his guardian. Yukito shows his gratitude toward the teacher and leaves. He then explains about himself that he moved and grew up in a foster home at the age of 5 after the death of his father. All the people around him were nice, but he himself remained reserved toward all of them. A young brat talks to Yukito, but he ignores him. The boy starts chasing him, and Yukito gets irritated, and the boy throws Yukito in the water. Yukito feels that his powers are returning, and a huge tornado is created in the water, and he comes to the surface. The boy is standing on the water, and he puts him in a bag. When he opens his eyes, he finds himself on a beach where the same boy congratulates him on his graduation and offers him a drink. Yukito then realizes that the boy, whose name is Jingi, is from Ayaka land, which is Yukito's birthplace. Yukito and Jingi reach the island named Ayaka land, where they are welcomed by Momoko and the mayor of the city. Yukito goes home while watching a lot of beautiful places. Jingi shows him the picture of his father, but he does not recognize him. Yukito is informed about the powers and abilities of his father, but he thinks that nobody knows about his mother. He then asks why they have called him there, and the mayor informs him that he has been growing up on the mainland according to his father's will. The mayor requests that he live with them, and he agrees. When Yukito reaches his room, Mitama comes there while Jingi comes and advises him to get close to people, but he says he does not want to do so. Yukito then tells him that he used to go to a riverside in his childhood where a child always bullied him. One day, while they were in the river, the water attacked the boy, and after some time, Yukito realized that this was his doing. He started distancing himself from people after that. Later, Momoko calls him for dinner, but he goes outside and sees stars while walking. A Mitama jumps into the water and turns into a monster. Jingi comes and shows him his magical powers by destroying the water monster. Jingi throws him toward the monster and he enters its body, which is destroyed. Jingi advises him to learn how to keep control of his powers. To show his power, Yukito kicks Jingi and throws him into the water. A letter is received from some people and they learn that the boy has returned. Yukito and Jingi return home. Jingi wakes up and thinks that he drank too much last night. He then finds Yukito busy in meditation outside, and Yukito asks him if he can control his powers after meditation. Jingi then tells him about ley energy, which flows deep in the earth and overflows in massive waves beneath Ayake Island. Jingi then asks Yukito to show him what he has learned, and Yukito casts his spell. But Jingi does not like it. He says that he is worried about Yukito's future if he cannot manage a basic spell. Jingi then casts the same spell and shocks Yukito with his powers. He advises Yukito to keep up with his training. Jingi tells Yukito that they have run short of booze and Yukito should work for him because Jingi is in debt to the bar. Shadaro and Yako argue over a job request when Jingi interrupts them, says Yukito will do it, and tells him about Yukito. Later, Jingi and Yukito go outside, and Jingi tells Yukito about the job request to pacify a Mitama that started appearing in the canal around there. He tells him that handling Mitama is their primary job, and if he cannot handle it, Jingi will help him. They are talking when a Mitama appears in the water, and Jingi asks Yukito to handle it. Shadaro and Yako tell Kurama that Jingi has stolen their job request. Jingi and Yukito run to see Mitama and reach an old man who is busy fishing. Later, they dry their clothes and see Mitama again in the water, who attacks them. Jingi casts his spell and destroys Mitama in no time. Jingi recalls the incident from last night, and then Mitama returns and attacks him again. Kurama then comes and casts his spell to destroy Mitama, and he advises Jingi not to drink too much. Yukito thanks Kurama for saving them. Kurama then introduces himself to Yukito and tells him that he studied under Yukito's father. He asks Jingi to talk to him because he is the cause of today's commotion. Momoko asks about Jingi, and Kurama tells her that he is reflecting on his actions. They eat their dinner without Jingi, and Yukito praises the curry made by Momoko. Kurama tells Yukito that Mitamas go on a violent rampage because they suffer when they are exposed to negative energy and become Mitama. He says Mitama can be returned to normal by pacifying them. Yukito and Jinji travel on the marine liner, and Yukito gets excited because he has never seen this before. They meet the mayor, and Jinji assures him that he does not need to worry about Yukito because he has taken care of him. Yukito says to the mayor that he is impressed by the marine liner. Later, Jingi and Yukito visit the market, and Jingi argues with the shopkeeper while buying a roasted thigh to eat. Jinji says he will complain to his friend Maki. Yukito is watching a show when he notices Jinji is missing. Suddenly, an Mitama appears, and Yukito runs to save a man from Mitama's attack. Mitama then attacks Yukito, but another boy named Ibuki saves him. He tells Yukito that he studied under his father 10 years ago. They both enter a large building and meet Jinji, who says that he has come there to complain to Maki. Ibuki tells them that his master pacified Mitama by calling and restoring them, and after purification, they return to ley energy. Ibuki says that he exterminated Mitama, leaving no trace behind. Yukito asks why he kills Mitama, and Ibuki replies yes, because they kill people. Yukito disagrees with him, and they start arguing while Obara comes there and informs Ibuki that Makita has found the target. Ibuki tells them that an Mitama has a core resembling an eyeball without a pupil or iris, and its main body is elsewhere. Jinji wants to go with Ibuki, but he asks him to take Yukito home. On the way home, Yukito and Jingi talk about Ayaka's security. Jingi advises Yukito not to mention Kurama before Ibuki because they both have a lot of issues with each other. Jinji runs from there, and Yukito hears a noise that suggests a Minama has appeared. He asks a guard to let him inside because he is a Lee master. He then attacks Mitama, but it does not work. Meanwhile, Jingi comes there and scolds Yukito for coming inside. Then Ibuki comes and exterminates it by using black magic and absorbing its power. Yukito and Jingi reach the third island, which is more developed than the second island. Jingi has brought a bottle of wine Momoko gave him. They are talking when Shadaro and Yako come there and tell them that their master asked to meet them. They see Kaisen's shrine, which is dedicated to the opposing dragon gods of water and fire. This shrine was built to pacify the dragons living on the fourth island. Shadaro and Yako try to talk to Yukito, but Jinji calls them to shut up and takes them aside. They slip and fall in the mud, while Kurama comes there and welcomes Yukito to the Kaisen shrine. Then they all take a bath in the hot spring, and Yukito enters the shrine with Kuruma. Kuruma offers Yukito some orange-flavored candies and asks him why he wanted to see him. Yukito tells him that he saw Ibuki exterminating Mitama with a pistol, and his methods are different from Kurama's. Kurama asks him how a ley master can use their powers, and Yukito replies that a ley master can use power by drawing and controlling energy. Kurama tells him that a lot of ley energy is flowing under the Ayaka land, and he can feel it by closing his eyes. He says that a ley master can borrow power from ley energy and use it to cast spells. Yukito follows Kuruma's instructions and experiences ley energy, but Kuruma advises him not to go deeper because that would be dangerous for a human. He tells Yukito that it is the duty of a ley master to purify Mitama and return them to their original world. Yukito tells him that Ibuki consumed a Mitama to get stronger, and Kuruma says he will become an Mitama. Yukito wonders why Ibuki wants to become more powerful or do something awful. Later, Shadaro and Yako say to Yukito that they want to talk to him. Kuruma asks Jinji about Ibuki. Jingi tells him that Ibuki's body is showing harmful effects from eating Mitama. He says Ibuki does not want to see anyone die again. Kurama instructs Jinji to teach Yukito properly so that he does not need to visit him. Shadaro and Yako take Yukito into a forest and urge him to study under their master instead of Jinji because Kurua is better than Jinji. They say they want to test Yukito's powers and measure his power as a ley master. Shadaro and Yako then make a tree from a seed in no time with the help of his magic and start quarreling with each other. When Yukito casts his spell, his seed turns into a bigger tree than Shadaro and Yoka's trees. Yukito is unable to control his powers, and the tree keeps growing until Jinai comes and stops it. Shadaro and Yoka are shocked at Yukito's powers, and Yukito says thanks to Jingi. Yukito says he wants to study under Jinji. Yukito is practicing magic spells while Jingi instructs him. Yukito loses control when Jingi is sitting on him, which causes him to fall. Yukito apologizes to Jinji. Yukito and Momoko are talking about yesterday's earthquake. Momoko says they will evacuate when a severe earthquake comes. Jinji comes and tells them that another earthquake has occurred. He then asks Momoko to give him some drinking money, which she does. Jingi and Yukito visit Yanagi Makoto's grave. where a lot of Mitamas have gathered around it. They wash the grave and Yukito asks why they are doing this. Jinji replies that they are giving respect to Yukito's father's grave. After some time, some other people came there to pray. They tell Yukito that 10 years ago his father saved all of them. Jinji says the earthquake was caused by the fire dragon and volcanoes beneath Ayaka Island are active now. He tells them that 15 years ago, the fire dragon's rival water dragon went missing, and the balance between the two dragons was thrown off. As a result of this, the fire dragon became stronger. Then, Yukito's father performed a ritual to pacify the dragon, and the island has been peaceful since then. His father is considered a living god by the people of the island. Jingi offers beer to Yukito, but he refuses, saying that he is not old enough to drink beer. They see Ibarra there and invite her, but she leaves without saying a word. Jinji tells Yukito that today is Albert's death anniversary, and she has also come to visit her parents' graves. Yukito sees some keys lying on the ground and picks them up. Shadowru and Yoka tell Jingi and Yukito that their master sent them to check the towns because the earthquake has disturbed the ley energies on the island. Ibuki is discussing the earthquake and ley energy when Yukito and Jingi come there and tell them that they have come to return a lost thing. They are told that Ibara's parents died due to an Mitama despite Yukito's father's efforts to save them. Yukito gives the keys to Ibara, and she thanks him. They are about to leave when another earthquake comes and Ibarra runs outside and Jinji says they have to stop her. The mayor says thanks to Ibuki for pacifying Mitama. He then says that evacuating everyone from Ayaka Island is necessary. Meanwhile, Ibuki is informed that an Mitama has appeared, and Ibuki runs outside. Yukito and Jinji rescue a girl, while Ibara confronts Mitame. The Mitama is about to attack Ibarra when Yukito comes before her and blocks the attack. Ibarra recalls when her father saved her from Mitama's attack and died himself, and she was rescued by Ibuki. Now Yukito has come to rescue her. The Mitame is so powerful that Yukito cannot handle it while Yoka and Shadowru come there. Yukito asks all of them to run from there, but Ibarra refuses to leave him in trouble. She then joins Yukito in fighting the Mitama, and they realize after many attacks that the Mitama is reckless. Other people ask them to run, but Ibarra refuses, saying that she is the Ley Master. After that, other Ley Masters collectively attacked Mitama and pacified it. Then 3 Mitamas come, and other Ley Masters decide to flee. But Yukito says he will not let anybody die. Kurama and Ibuki come and destroy the Mitama. Yukito is surprised to see both of them fighting together. Ibuki then goes to consume the Mitama, but Kuruma stops him. They both start fighting, and Kuruma says to him that he will be unable to turn back to normal after becoming Mitama, but Ibuki asks him to stay away from his business. Shadowru and Yoka then ask Kuruma to leave Ibuki. Ibuki tells Ibarra that they are heading back, and Kuruma tells Ibuki that their master will never allow him to use black magic. Yukito thanks Ibarra for helping him, and Ibarra shares her contact number with Yukito. Shadowru and Yoka say they will not be too friendly because their master may dislike it. Yukito then says they handled the situation due to cooperation, so they should keep in touch with one another. All the other Ley Masters agree with him and they share one another's contacts.